Many people on the internet lack a spine, but some are even more spineless than others. I am of course talking about many of the anti-SJW style YouTube figures who love to pretend that they are not creating a narrative and promoting an agenda when they really are. The cowards who don't openly argue for or against anything, but instead dig up deranged, misleading videos of left-wing people for them to cackle at. They say things such as that they are just making fun of idiots. There are countless idiots on the right. In fact, the right is built on idiocy, but for some reason, they only ever attack leftists. They create a skewed and misleading narrative of crazy leftists while putting on a cowardly act as if they are not political and just making fun of some idiots, when all of those idiots happen to be on one political side. The amazing coincidence that is the one-sided nature of this mockery betrays a very real agenda and a very real cowardice when it comes to acknowledging said agenda. It is so easy. If you are a right-winger and support right-wing politics, just say you support right-wing politics and be open and honest so your audience doesn't get a false impression of what you are selling. Don't pretend to just be making fun of idiots when you're actually just making one-sided propaganda to make the left look bad. As bad as they are, I have infinitely more respect for the openly political pundits who mock the left than those who pretend to not be political and just having a laugh, making fun of idiots when a political agenda of a very harmful reactionary type is clearly being pushed. In the case of the regular openly political propagandist, people know that some bias and perspective is going to be inserted into everything. The more cowardly propagandist, however, pretends to not be such a political actor and just pumps out misleading propaganda video after misleading propaganda video for the audience of completely unaware 13-year-olds. This is the epitome of cowardice, dishonesty, and deceit. Promoting a deranged reactionary agenda to people who are often completely unaware and incapable of responsibly engaging with the somewhat disguised propaganda, which comes in the form of a misleading narrative of a crazy left built off of a handful of embarrassing videos of random people. When you see these media personalities pretending to just be making fun of people but coincidentally only targeting leftists, know that it is not a coincidence. They are promoting an agenda, and their actions make this perfectly evident with the one-sided narrative that they create. They are just too cowardly and dishonest to admit that they do have ideologies and agendas. They are propagandists of a very deceitful, dishonest, and dangerous variety. They hide their bias and agenda to mislead and build an entirely false narrative to often very young and vulnerable audiences. They create countless reactionaries through deceit, dishonesty, and cowardice. Unfortunately, these people will likely always exist, and people need to be better able to recognize a biased perspective when such a bias is not openly stated by a propagandist. Most propagandists are dishonest to some degree, but few are as dishonest as those who pretend that they are not propagandists or even ideological actors.